Okie doke. Time for non-renewable resources. The second of the three topics. And we're going to have a quick look at the data. Hopefully you know this from earlier in the course, more or less, but we're going to quickly look at this. What is the trend in extraction rates of non-renewable resources globally compared to GDP? And what is the trend in prices? Basically, it's pretty straightforward, and we can have a look here. You can ignore the top picture there. Look down here. And this is time. So this is years. If we say 1900, 2020, and if we call whatever the mineral we're looking at, if we call extraction in 1900 as 1, and then we say this level is 2, this is 4, and this is 8, this is like what we can call a logarithmic scale. And if we draw a straight line like this, that is doubling. That's a constant doubling time, right? That is also known as exponential growth. Okay? Or what we call in economics a constant growth rate, exponential growth. Okay, and this is very roughly what we see for most minerals. And it's also what we see for GDP. Okay, so if we call GDP or global product Y, and if we call resource extraction R, we see something like that. Although actually the growth rate is actually steeper than this. Instead of 8 times bigger by 2020 compared to 1900, we should be more like 20 times bigger. Okay. We're extracting about 20 times more stuff from the earth today than we were 100 or so years ago. Okay, and we're also about 20 times richer. Okay, or the total value of everything we're producing is also about 20 times greater. Okay, and hopefully one of you will actually dive into the data. It shouldn't take long. Okay, it's kind of nice that you can actually, there's so much amazing data just out there on the web, not in raw form, you know, not that, of course there's our world in data is amazing where people have put it together for you, but there's also amazing sources of data where you can go yourself and see the sort of raw data and put things together. Okay, and that's what this exercise is about. But if you do that, you should see that it's more or less like this for GDP and iron. And what about the price of iron? If you were to plot that and also set the initial price as 1, you would basically find something like this. Okay, there's no clear trend. Very roughly, okay, it's not going to, these humps and bumps are going to be much more irregular than here, but there's no clear trend. Putting everything together, if the quantity is growing at the same rate as GDP and the price is more or less constant, what does that tell us about the expenditure share? PR over Y. Okay, think about that. We'll talk about it in class. Okay. Let's see, I think that's the end. Yeah. So that's a bit of data. And next video, we're going to look at why prices are constant.